Hi, my name is James Knott, the host of the Better Beer Authority. Today, we are celebrating the end of our third year of beer reviewing with our top 10 list. I asked the members of the Better Beer Authority, the entire cast and crew, to vote on their favorite beers of 2012 from the list of 32 beers that we reviewed. Then, I added up all the points to create our top 10. Here are our favorite beers from this year. First on the list is a senior citizen in the young world of craft beer. We did a vertical tasting of the last 4 years of this beer, and it was fun to see how it changed over time. Number 10 is Bigfoot Barleywine Style Ale from the Sierra Nevada Brewing Company in Chico, California.
Not only can it be rated on its own merit for an original year, maybe a 2012, but for guys like us who are fortunate enough to have a few years, we can definitely see that the beer itself ages well. And I think that's incredible and a true testament to how a beer like wine can actually get better over time. So a 9.
It was a very moving response.
I'm changing mine to 11.
This next beer was sent to us from our travel writer, Richard Hartogs, while he was on a trip to Florida. We did a game show style blind taste test, and Cigar City Brewing in Tampa, Florida was a winner. Number 9 is Jai Alai IPA. And why don't you reveal your answers? Okay, we have Nugget Nectar, we have Jai Alai IPA, and we have Karma, Practice Good. All right, and the answer is
Jai Alai! Jai Alai!
Bob Otto Bob sent us this next beer, which is from ratebeer.com's top brewery in the world. We've only been able to get a hold of one of their beers for the show because it's still pretty rare in this part of Ohio. However, this beer made us all want to try more beer from Three Floyds Brewing in Munster, Indiana. Number 8 on our list is Zombie Dust.
I think that this approach that we're doing, this blind taste test, we get the idea of what the beer is before we even know where the beer came from.
Yeah, this just reinforces
reinforces my interest now in Three Floyds and specifically Zombie Dust. So anytime I'm going to be able to get my hands on it, I'm going to get a 6-pack of it.
This beer was new to Ohio in 2012. The brewery sent it to us to get some local promotion for the beer. And in a blind taste test, the boys thought it deserved the promotion. From Brooklyn, New York, our number 7 beer is Resin from the 6 Point Brewery.
I think the taste and the nose on this beer is different. I mean, like Mark was saying, there's a lot. It's almost like you're sticking your nose in a bag of hops that we were talking about earlier. But I think for me, the taste is a little more mellow than that. It doesn't like come up and punch in the face and say, I'm here, I'm hops, I'm here to stay. It's just kind of like...
There's not a strong hop bitterness.
Right, it's not bitterness. So I think it's a well-balanced beer. So, they might have shit ton of hops in there, but
we don't say that on this show.
They might have a
crap ton
of hops in there, but the malt is balancing it out, so it doesn't come off as like really super bitter.
Now, it's rare that we don't use a full panel for our reviews, but we did a one-on-one review with Richard Hartogs. I was surprised that this beer made it on the list because no one else was there that day to taste it, but apparently several other guys had it outside of the BBA and liked it enough to vote for it. From San Diego, California, number 6 is Sculpin from the Ballast Point Brewing Company.
With the San Diego beers, you immediately think of Stone and Green Flash, which are fantastic breweries. Lost Abbey, are they San Diego?
I don't know. Stumpy Joe Jr., are they San Diego? Keep going.
I know Pizza Port's making a big name, or with the Port Brewing. Ballast Point's coming along, and I think there should definitely be in the San Diego conversation.
Todd IG from Minnesota wanted us to try one of his favorite beers, and I'm glad he did. At the time, it was ratebeer.com's top-rated IPA in the world. The guys thought it was a solid IPA and gave it bonus points for being from a can. From Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, our number 5 beer is Furious from the Surly Brewing Company.
Well, color me surprised as for one. The bottom line is, had I seen this particular beer on a shelf, it just reminds me of like Sparks or something like that.
Yeah,
energy drink.
That's what I thought you were
I would
flipping out.
totally pass this up based on expectations, but that's kind of a nut check for me because, you cannot judge a book by its cover.
Mr. David Hartogs arranged for us to get this beer from Vermont. What I think is unique is that this brewery only cans one beer, and that beer is the number 3 rated beer in the world on Beer Advocate. It lands at number 4 on our list. From Waterbury, Vermont, Heady Topper from the Alchemist.
Yeah, and I think it's worth pointing out that, can we zoom in on this, Rick? Can everyone get the picture there?
Yeah.
Everyone get it in the right light here.
You think he looks like the Alchemist?
He might have a little resemblance, so we might have a secret alchemist here. Can you look at that?
I have to.
There, the profile.
There.
Yeah.
After interviewing Sam Calagione earlier in the year, I was excited to taste this next beer. When it was first brewed in 1999, it was the strongest beer in the world. It no longer holds that title, but it is the strongest beer on this year's list. From the Dogfish Head Craft Brewery in Milton, Delaware, our number 3 beer of the year is Worldwide Stout.
Mark, this is the official 4-pack labeling from the factory. What do you think about this?
Well, I think it's incredible. It shows some, remarkable.
Is there anything about this beer that's not incredible for you?
There's really nothing about this beer that doesn't blow my damn mind.
Well, why don't you just tell us what your rating is?
It's a 10, James.
10. All right. I think that might be our first 10 of the year.
IPAs should be consumed fresh, and Greg Cook wants you to drink this beer really fresh, so much so that he made the expiration date part of the name of the beer. It was a novel concept, and we were hooked. We tracked down several bottles of this hard-to-find beer to shoot a review. This is one beer that lived up to the hype. Our number 2 rated beer of 2012 is Enjoy by IPA from the Stone Brewing Company in Escondido, California.
I mean, what inspired you about it so much, more than I've really seen you do for any other beer?
I think it was the fact that it was an Imperial. I mean, I like IPAs a lot. I like big beers. I like Stone. I mean, obviously their reputation. It's exciting to try their new beers. And this whole idea of something that was not meant to be kept, but basically, it's not a caged animal here. I mean, you get it, drink it, get rid of it. I just really like that idea. I think it's cool.
Now, our number 1 beer of 2012 almost didn't appear on the show. We received 6 bottles of it along with some other beers from the brewery. But I thought it might be too obscure for our audience, so I decided not to do a review of it. But then, I tasted it, and I was blown away. I felt it was my duty to spread the word about this beer to the world. And, in a blind taste test, the other reviewers agreed. Every person that tasted it that night voted it as their number 1 beer of the year. From Dark Horse Brewing Company in Marshall, Michigan, the Better Beer Authority's number 1 beer of 2012 is Bourbon Barrel Aged Plead the Fifth Imperial Stout.
Ryan?
Yes, James.
Rating?
10.
10.
10.
Wow, we haven't had a 10 in a while.
Yeah.
So you're gonna put this in your top beers, you think?
I was going back and forth quite a bit between 9 and 10, but I really don't find anything about this beer that I don't enjoy. The flavor everything's just so mellow and melted together. You get the warmth from the alcohol, you get the a little touch of vanilla, just smooth roastiness throughout. Like I was saying, I mean, I'm assuming this isn't necessarily a inexpensive beer. But if I had the budget to
It's at least 75 cents a bottle.
yeah, and if I could afford 75 cents a bottle every night, this would be something in a snifter, if I had a fireplace sort of thing, just
Right before bed.
Right before bed, just to
And a pipe.
finish out the day. Right. So yeah, this is something that's like we've all said, is just a treat and really enjoyable.
That's it for our list of top beers for 2012. We have a ton of great beers in store for 2013, so hit subscribe so you can be notified of our latest reviews. Thanks for watching. I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority.
Better Beer Authority, Better Beer Authority.